Mental health is the #1 cause overall for our people. On top of that, drugs and alcohol, and it's just heartbreaking to see people just take their lives when there's another option out there.
We've had generational trauma, our Indigenous people in this country, and it's just going on and on and on. And so where do we draw a line and stop it?
A lot of our young children have been committing suicide, and we had to do something. We had to look at, what we could do to help our kids.
If we can help people to address the issues that hold them back from being able to move forward, to start to reframe the meaning of their past that has been paralyzing them for so long, then we stand the chance of equipping people to be able to go back into their community, to start to bring a change in the grouping of people that they have an influence on.
The program gives people a safe place where they can speak about injustice that has occurred to them, their grief, their loss, their frustrations, to bring about healing as we look at tools and options and strategies through nutrition, through lifestyle programs to deal with depression.
And it made me realise things in my own life, how depression can eventuate from a young age, and things that happen in your life.
Bringing up the past of what's happened to you that causes the depression and anxiety that you thought that you have dealt with.
The ideal for them to have the best success will be a residential program. In other words, a place for 10 days where they can live, where we can actually feed them the right nutrients. We can wake them up in the morning and get them to move around. We can get them into the bright sunlight, the medicine that God has given us through nature. So there's ample time just to forget about the stresses and just mingle with others in a non-threatening environment. It's also a place where God can speak to their hearts through nature.
As a facilitator, I get the opportunity to share my story and of the things that have happened in my life that have held me back. And you're not just sharing your story, you're actually sharing other people's story. People will come up to you and say, I had the same experience, or that happened to me. How did you deal with that? Because it helps to heal.
We incorporate the mental, physical, emotional and spiritual. And so I believe that this program will have a wonderful impact on our community who at the moment are crying out for help.
This is a must. This will strengthen our mind and our brain and retrain it and give us the tools that we need to overcome depression and anxiety.
What I liked about it was seeing my people change and see them come to a place where they can at least smile now. They can at least talk about these things.
And the phenomenal change that happened, at the end of 9 days, we tested them again. And even those that we thought were not engaging had a phenomenal drop. We saw individuals that dropped down from extreme severe depression to a 0 depression. There were others that dropped down from extreme severe depression to now a mild depression. Their anxiety levels was the most remarkable change. Where as a group, high anxiety, they dropped down to no anxiety whatsoever. And therefore, if they maintain the course, they will have the best chance to live a life with no depression whatsoever.
And I'm very grateful. I can't say thank you enough. We're going to walk away knowing this is our plan, this is how we're going to go about improving.
There needs to be more programs like this because there's no programs that deal with the cause. They're always band-aid solutions, but the most amazing thing about it is that it's God-centered.
We are doing groundbreaking new work. We're collecting data to be able to present to federal government. But you know what? This program only works if Christ is the center. And what if Seventh-day Adventists are at the forefront of this. What an opportunity.
And dear friends, I know that we have traveled to the islands and we've done a wonderful job in the islands, but right here in our own backyard, we have our own mission field, but the commission is to all of us. And this sort of work is grassroots. It's where the rubber meets the road, and let me tell you, it's the most exciting. So dear friends, we want to thank you for your support, but at the same time, this is just the beginning.